All right, so let's look at how the Lions' resurgent defensive line pass rush has been a big key of the Lions' turnaround. Because I'm like, man, we talked about the secondary a couple weeks ago, how they've been turning the ball over, one of the top in coverage and interceptions, but the Lions have had 19 sacks since week 8. 17 of them have been by the defensive line. The two rookies, Hutch and Houston, have 12 sacks of the Lions' 30 sacks for the season. That's almost half.
12 of the 19.
No, they got 12. They got 12 of the team's 30 sacks for the season. All right. The problem, we know who the problem is, James Houston. He's got 5 sacks in 4 games. God damn. That boy's doing his thing. The Lions defense, the D-line, has kept the pressure on opposing quarterbacks as well. They've tallied 39 quarterback hits since week 8. They've been beating them quarterbacks up.
Yeah.
The D-line is getting healthier because guess what happened? Romeo came back. He had 2 sacks on Sunday. Taking up pictures over there in MetLife Stadium. That's his sack celebration. The Lions D-line is gonna make life hard for opposing quarterbacks for the rest of the season. But guess what? It's not just our pass rushers. It's our defensive tackles as well. The Lions have stuffed the run. The Lions have only allowed one 100-yard rusher since week 8, and that was Justin Fields. And only allowed 2 teams to have over 100 yards combined. That was the Bears and the Bills. What? McNeil, Buggs, and Bonito Jones, along with Kaminsky, have done a great job stuffing the run and allowing those linebackers and DBs, because they're part of it too, to make plays in the run defense. But this Lions defensive line, AG, Coach Wash, those guys have had these guys stepping up, and they have been a big part of the Lions turnaround to going from 1-6 start to a 6-1 where we are right now to get to 7-7, man. I'm going to you first, man, to the defensive line coach. What do you think about this Lions defensive line and the turnaround?
Man, y'all already know. It starts with the D-line. That's the most ferocious unit that has to be on your team. It has to be the D-line, not the O-line, not the line. The most ferocious unit on your team has to be the D-line. If it is the D-line, I can guarantee you right now you're in contention for something toward the end of the season. But that D-line, man, they are playing. And you know what? They're all draft picks and free agents. And that's a good thing, man, because they're brought here and they're doing their job. Everybody in cast-outs are doing their job. Kaminsky, Bonito, they're doing their job. Buggs, they're doing their job. Aline the Dream, they doing their job. And then you got all these edge rushers, man. I mean, as a collective, they are holding it down, and they're actually making it so the linebackers can attack. Now our linebackers want to all of a sudden play downhill, and they're playing downhill because our D-line is moving the line of scrimmage. That's why ain't nobody been running the ball, because we're moving the line of scrimmage, and we're getting off the ball. The first thing that's the most important thing about playing D-line, the number one thing is your ball get off. And them boys is getting off the ball right now, man. And that's half the battle, man, because you're already a fraction of a second behind the play. The offense knows the snap count. So that means your get off has to be, you got to get there. And they doing it, man. They doing it. They confident. They knowing where they need to go. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful.
Shout out to, I'm gonna give some love, not only to the players but to the building, I guess. Steel sharpen steel, as they say. We got a pretty good O-line. They got to go up against them guys all the time. Yeah. So there you go. And shout out to Ty Walsh. We've been calling it out. He gets a lot of credit for that Saxonville defense. So I see some similarities, not a lot of them. but you know, they making it work. You know, I feel like it was a philosophy change at some point. Whatever it had to be, it kind of just felt like somebody was like, "Man, let me see the sticks," and they just started running the defense a whole lot better. So, shout out to the turnaround, shout out to Ty Wash, shout out to the O line, shout out to AG, shout out to everybody involved. Because yeah, like you said, you know, just that it Curt and you that has been a mainstay, a great big part in our turnaround of the season so far.
I mean, just looking, I'm kind of looking up some stats right now. The Lions lead the NFC North in sacks right now. We're at 30 right now for the season. Green Bay is next at 29. Minnesota is right ahead of us they're at 33. So we're like right behind the first place team. But that's where we should be though. I mean, we should be right there with those guys just because of the fact that how we're playing. And if we didn't had a better start to the season, I just think we would be competing with them for the NFC North title. But next year we will be doing that. Definitely right up there, man, because the Lions are on. I don't think, and the Lions are built. They're building for long-term success. It's not just about this year. It's about this year and beyond. Hey, to tune in to hear what LL and Coach Mike has to say about the defensive line and this turnaround, tune into the full version of today's Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl, right here on your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors.